Hello everyone, welcome back to this Terraria Let's Play. This is video 6 and I'm very excited to show you all of the progress I've made off camera. I was definitely refraining from doing too much, although with that said I still made a significant amount of progress while I wasn't recording. So let me hop inside, seeing as it's turning night time. First things first, as you can probably see, there is now a lantern that follows me anywhere I go. This lantern was sold to me by the skeleton merchant, I think is his name. One of the NPCs, if you know, you know. It's essentially something that can detect nearby ores and treasures, hence the chests sparkling now that I'm in close enough proximity. So it's not quite like a spelunker potion in the sense that it doesn't detect stuff over here, for example. However, it's still pretty good. Seeing as we're in here, as you can see, there have been a few more accumulated chests since the last video. In this room, I decided to make a little bit of a vine farm, although for some reason the vines are not growing beyond this point and I'm not sure why. As you can see over to the left here, I've developed this room, or began developing this room a little bit more. So this is my new moss farm. I was able to collect some lava moss and of course the common blue moss that's all around the world. I am actually unsure as to whether or not there is a way for me to acquire the other colours for each of the moss types, but hopefully there is, because I would love to fill this farm with all different sorts. Now if we head over to the right here, this new house in this specific location is very necessary and I'll get onto that in a minute. Then if we hop up to the right, as you can see, I've actually built the beginning of what I would like to call my permanent arena for different boss fights, which hopefully, spoiler alert, we will have one in this video, because I really want to consume all of my life crystals and then just get the Eye of Cthulhu out of the way. As you can see, we've got the mana lanterns and the life lanterns. We've also got some campfires jotted around. So overall, it's a fairly decent starter arena. I'm sure there are many other things I could include and add to increase my buffs, but for now, I'm happy with what we've got. Now, one of the big progressions I made since I last was filming is I have now began a bit of a pylon system. So not only have I established the jungle pylon, but I've also managed to establish an ocean pylon, which is super handy because now I can make it to this side of the world. And seeing as I know the shimmer is on this side of the world, as the jungle is, I have got now a pretty easy route of access to get myself over here. Now I have began building a little bit of an elevator down. However, I wasn't really having much luck with finding the shimmer, so that is still yet to be discovered and hopefully I can do that on camera. There are a lot of zombies. I'm not sure why there are quite so many. Obviously it is nighttime, but this does feel weirdly excessive. I'm not sure whether I've got an anti-buff of some description or this is just how it is. Okay, on that note, let's head back home and consume the life crystals, which I have been dying to consume for quite a while now. I think we're going to consume about 11 of these, so let's 9, 10, 11. And just like that, we have got almost full pre-hard mode health. The reason I say almost is because there is something you can receive from the shimmer if you do throw a life crystal in there. I can't remember what it is, but I do know that it's some sort of permanent buff. We have now got 400 health, super excited about that. All right, now I want to head down this elevator that I've been building and show you the progress I have made, because I've managed to build a vine rope all the way down to the lowest point I've made it to thus far. And I made it to a minecart track, which I really wanted to explore, but I was very strict with myself to not explore until I was back on camera. So let's see what we've got down here. Obviously now we are on lava level, so maybe things are going to be a bit better or maybe things are going to be a bit more dangerous. I'm not sure. Oh my god. I actually have no words. That could not have gone any worse. I guess we know now to not go to the right side of that track. I mean, I only lost 1 gold, which is still kind of significant at this point in the game, but it's not the worst. I cannot believe how terribly that went. Although with that said, it's funny how I've respawned with half of my health, but this half is my old full health, if that makes sense. The amount of life we now have is definitely going to make a huge difference when we're exploring and trying to deal with different things. And in case any of you weren't aware or forgot as to why I held off consuming the life crystals, it was because once you hit or exceed the 200 life mark, then oh my god, what on earth is going on down here? There's so many bugs and creatures. Once you exceed that health mark, a boss can spawn on its own terms, and I just was not ready to face the boss, really. Okay, let's hop through here. I'm really, really scared to fall into lava, although that seems to be it. So it doesn't seem to be a very extensive minecart track on this side of the caves, which is completely fine. What's that? Oh, I guess we'll never know. Well, I'm going to place a torch and I'm definitely going to collect this life crystal. Now, although I do find this slightly boring, and I can imagine for a viewer it's also not the most exciting thing in the world to watch, I do want to continue heading down this column that I've been digging just to see if we can make it to the underworld. I'd always said to myself, if I'm going to make it to the underworld, it does have to be while I'm filming. And by the looks of it, it looks like we're approaching ash blocks, which I actually haven't come across yet, so that's a good sign. Deal with the mother slime and then continue down. We seem to have found a gem tree. This is probably one of the drawbacks of having a large world, is quite how much you have to dig and quite how much ground you have to cover to get to any side or any space in the world. Oh, okay, that wasn't even ash, it was silt. So ignore what I said before. Right, this looks as though, okay, I was going to say it looks as though it could be dangerous. Oh, okay. Proven wrong and then proven right. I obviously want to continue the shaft to make it all the way down to the underworld, but I want to see how close we really are at this point. Still no sign of a background change. So it doesn't seem as though it's going to be a walk in the park. So I think for now I will put this mission on hold to get to the underworld and we can do something else. What else is he selling now? A loaf of bread. Consumed to permanently increase crafting station range. Okay. Does that mean the range of things you can craft, or how close you need to be to a crafting station to craft things? Material, equipable, throws a counterweight after hitting an enemy with a yo-yo. Classic roller skates. These are a big thing that I've seen the community talking about a lot online. I would love to get these, but as we can tell, I do not have enough money. I do have a lot of coins in total stored in a chest back at spawn. However, it's not in my piggy bank, so I don't have immediate access to it. Also, I'm wondering why Tom hasn't moved into a house, because there are definitely available spaces, so maybe he wants a cave house. If that's so, I know exactly which one I can repurpose for him. Right, headed back to spawn, I also want to show you another thing that I created while I was off camera. This is probably a little bit random, but I have spent a weirdly large amount of time here. So if we pass through these trees, I actually created a graveyard biome for myself, and this is a really, really cool thing if you don't know about it already. But essentially, mobs that can only spawn at night will spawn even if you have walked into it during the daytime. As we can see here, there's an eye up there, but it is still technically daytime out here. It's just by coincidence that as soon as I pass through the tree, the atmosphere changes. I'm also particularly in love with these ravens. I just think they're so cool. And I did pick up a raven feather, and I have no idea what it is any use for. So if anyone watching does know what that's for, please do let me know, because I'm trying my best to avoid the wiki just because I want to discover things on my own accord and figure things out my own way. But that is really something that I have no idea what to do because it's not even a crafting material. Let's deposit our storage. What have we got here? Okay, the geezers, we can put that in the cave chest. Okay, we've got the Loyal Abigail's flower. That is a summon. Yes, so that goes in there. It's funny how the longer you play, the more you just kind of know where things are. All right, I think what I'm going to do is head to the jungle because I really, really want to craft myself the Blade of Grass, which is a sword. And you need a lot of jungle spores and you also need vines. Although with that said, I don't think I want to go to the jungle here. I'm going to head down this tunnel that I built near the ocean pylon because I actually did end up running into the jungle. And on that note, I actually ran into a beehive. So I began building an arena around it, or trying to at least clear out the space. But of course, it's the underground jungle, so I was facing a lot of difficulties doing so, hence the gravestone. If I do this, maybe... Okay, that works. There we go. Collect some more jungle spores. The longer I wait around, the more opportunity it gives for these different mobs to spawn. Let me collect that life crystal. Spelunker potion, that's really handy. Let's continue going through. Okay, something just shot at me, so clearly we've got a hostile environment still. Gonna try and explore the area without getting hit maybe. That would be brilliant. Hop down here. Oh, you can see one of my old tombstones. Didn't actually realize we were going to be able to do this, but if we hop through here, we can maybe deal with the piranhas and find our way into this new area. Whoa, okay. We've also got a pixie trying to show me something. That's exciting. Or is it just that life crystal that we passed? Oh no, we didn't pass the life crystal. It was a statue. Is it something in that body of water? I'm not sure. Oh, a water chest. What a good find. Thank you, Pixie. I'm going to board myself off down here, mostly because I don't want slimes ambushing me from above if I need to come up and collect some air. But let's go down here and see what's in that chest. Anything in here? Oh, we've got flippers. They could be useful. Let's collect the chest as well. If we look on the map here, there is another cave below us, so maybe it's worth trying to get into that. Okay, so I am now digging down into hopefully a new space, although this doesn't really seem to be quite what I was hoping to find. Let's see if there's any sort of lead into a new area. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to dig through this wall as well. A lot of water. I'm noticing there's a lot of water around. What about down here? If I throw a glow stick, am I going to find anything? Most likely not. Okay, so not really too much going on in this new little area of cave. I can obviously see different pockets around and about the area, but nothing super major. If I head back the way I came, actually, now that is what I'm talking about. Okay, we've got another pair of flippers. We've got another water chest. Love to see it. That worked out a lot better than I thought it was going to, if I'm honest. Oh. Okay, that was a bit weird. Let me get another glow stick in hand while I relight the area. Let me collect these jungle spores that seem to be illuminating the waters. Alright, I've decided to start mining right ways. Am I able to hit anything through here? It does look as though there's a different kind of moss on this stone, which I don't believe I've come across yet in the world, so that's actually very exciting if that is moss. So this isn't really, I'm not really making much progress here. Whoa! I'm going to just stand here and hope that the man-eater falls into my trap. Thank you so much. And that actually helped us because we can see down there that there is actually more space to discover. Let me use my axe, and then I will use the boomerang to shed the pathway of any vines. There doesn't seem to be too much going on down here. However, we do know that we can always dig down for more. I'm going to just continually swing my axe here and hopefully hit the man-eater. With that said, I think maybe the boomerang is a better choice. And just like that, another successful kill. Now we have a new enemy / target. The lantern is detecting a lot of goodies. As you can see, we are also doing a pretty good job at killing the hornets. I think we just picked up a coffee there. That's a bit strange. Let's pick up anything here as well. Not the most going on, but also that's not too bad. I think, honestly, it's worth collecting the silt, seeing as we're here. So I'll mine down through this. Okay, didn't really collect too much silt, but that's fine. Is this going to lead us into a new cave? Hopefully. As long as I keep the spiked jungle slime at bay, I should be fine. Seems to be a bit more down here. Is this an entire entrance or... No, okay, it's just a little pocket once again. Let me check the map for a minute. Okay, so we're quite far to the right here. We're pretty much directly below the ocean. So it's definitely worth heading left a bit more now because we really would like to find the shimmer. Okay, so I've built a tunnel into a new area of jungle. However, there is a man-eater somewhere down here, and it's definitely trying to catch me. Come on, there we go. Now I need to be mindful that there are definitely going to be hornets as well. So the coast isn't quite clear yet. Now I need to be very careful here because my life is looking very weak. Collect some more jungle spores. Hop back up here. Is that a hunter potion? Yes. Okay, can I get something on there? I want to, there we go, throw something. That does not feel like a safe space to spend my time, so I'm going to continue heading over to the left. Already got another slime on my tail. Okay, thankfully it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get too close to me. What have we found ourselves here? Wow, I'm surprised nothing has hit me so far. Was that almost a word too soon? Yes. I seem to be pretty high on health still, which I'm happy about. Light up the area, as we always will. Okay, heading down into this new space. Nothing much. Now, what have we found here? I'm seeing a lot of sparkles. Oh my goodness, it's a jungle house. Oh, that's a very exciting find. Okay, let's head through and see. Does this lead to anywhere? No, okay, it's just completely submerged into the mud. Let's see what we've got in here. What's this? Cat chime. Well, I think I'll just loot it for now, but I don't have the space. What should I put? I mean, I don't need 2 pairs of flippers. We've got lucky... We've got guarding. I'll keep the lucky ones. Okay, let's continue heading left as we have been doing this entire time. It looks as though we are heading towards a massive body of water, which in theory is good because that means we've got a big space upcoming, but it's not good because it will flood everything that we found. So I actually do think I'm going to try my best to actively mine around this. Oh, although it doesn't look as though it's going to work. So maybe try to mine above it. I think this was definitely the better way to go. Whoa. I did not realize there was that many things looking at me through the wall. Let's light this place up a bit. Oh my goodness, I just realized I ran out of torches. I accidentally almost clicked the magic mirror, so thank goodness I didn't. All right, I trust that my Finch has done a pretty good job at protecting me and getting rid of the nasty things down here. So if I just head down now, am I missing anything in the water? That's clearly something that I almost did once before. I suppose I can just wait for these piranhas to come up and meet their fate. Oh, we've got a travelling merchant. I do feel as though the travelling merchant spawns much more often these days, and I'm not sure whether that's me thinking he does or whether he actually is, and that's a 1.4.5 edit to the game. Let's keep going left. Let me get rid of these vines. Does this go far down? Not really. Oh, I've just realized there is a shrine up here in the left when I know exactly where I'm going to head, and there also seems to be a chest up here. What a weird generation. Let's collect the jungle spores as we've been doing. There we go. What on earth is this kind of cavey layout? It all looks really strange. I mean, not complaining, I'm just quite surprised at the appearance. Oh, I think I know why it looks like this. I actually think we've just found the shimmer. I don't want to get my hopes up, but if I'm not mistaken, we're still very much in the jungle, yes. Let's mine up here. Be very, very careful and cautious because there is a lot going on. I'm also noticing there is in fact another gold chest behind me, which is kind of insane. In my head, one of these has got to be trapped just because that's crazy otherwise. With that said, this is clearly a hostile environment and I'm feeling pretty underprepared to face everything that's being thrown at me. If I can just super quickly... hello, can I do that, please? Thank you. Shield myself in with some silt. Not too sure why silt was my choice of block there. Then I can have a look in this chest. Staff of Regrowth, Cursed Piper Flute. I found this last time and I still don't know what it does or how to use it. Can I loot anything else? Okay, I can loot the archery potion. I mean, I'll keep this here because I'll definitely be returning. I am going to go through here, block my way in with silt again. The moment of truth. Is this the shimmer or is this just some very, very bizarre world generation? Yes! Oh my goodness, we found it finally. How amazing is this? Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we've made it. Let me light up this area completely. Okay, we got new digs. Is that a shimmer slime? Wow. So for those of you that don't know, the shimmer is a fairly recent addition to Terraria from what I can remember. At least I think it was in one of the last few major updates. And the liquid you can see here in this big pool has very special abilities. So let me quickly go and see life crystal. If I throw this into the water, yes, it comes out as this new object. So here, vital crystal consumable permanently boosts life regeneration. So if I do that, I've now got that permanent buff for the rest of time. I'm trying to remember by looking in my inventory now if there's anything I can throw into the shimmer that will come out as a new item. I'm going to quickly show you what the shimmer does when you step into it, and then I will head back home and sort out my inventory a little bit. With that said, I'm going to try and do a bit of a run up and maybe catch one of these fairlings. Is that what they're called? I'm not sure. If I hold my torch. So this is what the shimmer does. If you dive into the liquid, you will fall through every bit of solid block until you find an open space. It can be really, really handy to continue exploring the world. However, if you accidentally fall in, it's not so handy. So overall, that was a very successful trip. I have to be honest, I didn't actually have the highest of hopes for us to find it. Let's head on home. Let's see what we got. We've got a failing. I want to ask the guide what that can be made into. I'm sure you can put it in a jar, but I don't know if there's anything else. Failing in a bottle. Okay. We also got 2 more underwater chests, which I'm quite surprised about, to be honest. So we can put those down there. In case you haven't noticed, I do like to have at least 2 of the same chests next to each other, hence these bizarre kind of spaces next to the existing ones. For now, I'm going to put the failing into this chest with lots of other creatures and bugs. Oh my goodness. I've just realized I could have used some money truff the entire time. Well, you know what, that's not too bad actually. We did spend enough time down there and I do want to do some other things in this video. In fact, while I'm still at spawn, I'm actually going to place a new layer for chests to be placed down. Just like that. So let me just super quickly check on the map if I scroll all the way to the jungle. So the shimmer is here. Let's say our entrance is about here. So we need to build some sort of shaft all the way down here. Okay, speaking of, this is just a tunnel that I began building off camera using scarab bombs for an easier access route all the way to the end of the world before I'd made the ocean pylon. But seeing as it now lies above where the shimmer is, that's a pretty handy route to take when building a lift all the way down. Of course, I'm going to make the shimmer pylon as soon as I can, but even just to get there initially to place it down, it will be nice to have another route of access. I feel like I want to make a really strong ranged weapon because I'm thinking to fight the Eye of Cthulhu tonight, and I feel as though that would make the most sense. I also just decided to make that because I think it will look nice. I also discovered a lot of different blocks and materials and textures and crafting recipes while I was off camera, so if the crafting menu is looking quite extensive, that's probably why. Here it is, the blade of grass. This is the sword I was talking about, so I'm going to actually go ahead and make that right now before I forget. And we've got the traveling merchant. Let's see what he is trying to sell. Let's head back to the crafting station. We've got a thorn chakram. I think this actually could be useful as well, so I'm going to make the snap thorn. Let me see what I've got here. I've got a wizard hat for defense, silver chainmail, and some copper greaves. Okay, I'm going to make the jungle pants because they are much stronger than the copper ones. Yeah, I think that's okay. Question mark. As for the failing in a bottle, where should I put this? Maybe I'll leave it in the star house for the time being. Oh, it's a hangable thing. Let's hang it up here. What does it look like? Not super special. Okay, I thought it would be a little bit more exciting, although I do like that it changes color. Maybe it will look better at night, actually. Then let's replace the axe with... Oh, but it's the same amount of damage. Okay. Very fast. I think the main difference with this is that it has the chance to poison enemies, and if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it has these kind of projectile things that wrap around it. So I would say this is an upgrade worth making for sure. And then what about the snapthorn? Oh, okay. So I've actually seen people use whips a lot over the years, and I've never really used one myself, so I'm not really sure if it would be my thing or not, but I suppose for a bit more distance between the Eye of Cthulhu and myself, that would make quite a lot of sense. For those of you that don't know, in case I haven't mentioned this already in one of the early videos, this is an expert mode world, so I will get additional drops from the eye compared to standard worlds. I suppose I'll just wait for the time to pass and I'll do a couple more bits and prepare myself for the first boss fight of this series. Okay everyone, I'm ready for battle. The traveling merchant has just left, which is an indication that nighttime is upon us. I've quickly organized my inventory. I've got 3 potions, the Thorns, Iron Skin, and Swiftness. I didn't realize how few of these I actually had in my inventory. I've only got 1 of these summons, so hopefully this will be the one and only time that I have to do this for the first time. My only minor concern is that I don't have any sort of grappling hook, so if I do fall beneath this second layer, I will have to go all the way to the edge to get myself back on top. However, I don't think that will be too much of an issue. So, seeing as night is very much occurring... Oh my goodness, really? This has really thrown me, I'm not sure. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Let's go for it. Oh, I just realized I didn't even take the potions. Oh dear me, that was not very intelligent. Let me consume swiftness, la la la. Oh god. This is definitely not the smoothest of battles. I suppose maybe the boomerang as well. Let's get the blade of grass going. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. I'm not taking too much damage, which is nice. I don't know why I thought this would be a much harder fight, if I'm honest. Wow, okay, just like that. Honestly, not tough at all. We did get the treasure bag, which I think is a fairly standard drop in expert mode. I also did just get the harsh reminder that it is still a blood moon. So the night is very much still young, unfortunately. But that is really, really good news that we've killed the Eye of Cthulhu now, because hopefully a couple more of the NPCs that haven't spawned in yet will now spawn. All right, where can I find myself a safe place? I'm going to board my doors just to make sure nothing tries to come through. Let's see what we get in the treasure bag. Okay, we've got some Crimtane ore, some Crimson Seeds, Unholy Arrow, and the Lucky Shield of Cthulhu. Now I know that the shield is a very, very popular item for most expert mode players. I am not really the biggest fan, if I'm completely honest. So for now, I am going to put it in the equipables chest, and I'm sure there's going to be at least one of you that are probably watching thinking, this guy has no idea what he's doing. And you know what? Maybe you're right. But with my track record, that's probably not going to help me that much at this point in the game. So I'm going to wait until I have a few more free slots to maybe implement that into my equipables. I really have to say I'm very surprised at how easy that was. I was expecting it to be so much harder. But hey, not complaining, that kind of gives me much more confidence for the following bosses, which are the likes of the Queen Bee, potentially even Skeletron as well. Oh, the Groom. I was going to say, this zombie seems really tough to kill. Also, actually, in one of the videos, maybe in video 4, I killed the bride during a blood moon and I picked up her wedding dress, which you can see in here. But when I was editing it back, I actually realized that I didn't pick up the veil, which she also dropped, but my inventory was too full for me to pick it up. And I was kicking myself about it because I thought, oh my goodness, it would have been so nice to have the full set kind of immediately. Even though this sword is doing the same amount of melee damage as the axe, it just seems to be doing a really, really good job. Now I'm kind of in the mood to do another boss fight because that was so easy. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all 65 gold of my coins. In fact, I'll just take the whole lot. And I'm going to head over to the jungle via the pylon to deposit my money into my piggy bank so I have access to it wherever I am. That way, if the traveling merchant ever wants to sell me something and I don't have the money actually on me, it will still appear in a side menu just here. Actually, while I'm in the jungle, I've just remembered I've got something to show you. So I did begin building a bit more of a proper house for me to spend time in. Obviously, it's not very well done, and I would also like to probably dedicate an entire video to building and designing different buildings that I have in the world because it's probably my favorite part about Terraria, or at least one of my favorite parts. So yeah, we've got this little house on stilts, which I'm loving, and I do also want to build a house here above this water for fishing. Now I'm heading this way to show you the tunnel that I began making off camera. Not that there's much to show you other than the fact that it exists. Okay, so we're in the tunnel. So I'm going to quickly check the map, see whereabouts the shimmer is. So we want to be, let's see, about just below this. Oh my goodness, we got the Dryad. Yes, that is really good news. As soon as I head back to spawn, I will see what she's selling. Is this part of something bigger? Doesn't seem to be. Down we go. This lantern is actually really, really helpful to find ores. I was thinking while I was off camera making progress, maybe it's better for me to wait. But again, this is just a reminder that I very much just wanted to explore the Terraria 1.4.5 update in a casual way. And I just so happened to decide to film whilst doing so. Oh, is there much going on? Am I walking into a danger zone? My Finch can see something. Oh, okay, it very much might be. Thankfully, it looks like we're going to be able to avoid that main room where that Hornet seems to be lurking. Oh, never mind. The Hornet has now decided to join us. I did not realise they could shoot downwards. Whew, that was brutal. Okay, in fact, let me throw one more of these down. How far down is it? Oh, okay, we're getting there slowly but surely. This seems to be absolute calamity over here. Having a Hornet in a marble biome is also not really favoured, but that's okay. I think one of the best things about this sword is the knockback it has. Especially if you catch a slime in the air, it just has absolutely no chance to even come close to you. I need to block this, temporarily of course. Okay, I think I've made the decision, unless we come across something drastically exciting and incredible. I think I am going to end the video once we make it to the shimmer, although we have got a fairy. Where does she want to lead me? Ooh. That looks like a different kind of biome. Hold on a second. Reroute. Is this still the underground jungle? Oh. Oh, we're in a granite biome. Okay, cool. Let me throw... Oh, that goes quite far down. What do you find in a granite biome? Yellow slimes by the looks of it. What the hell was that? Let me quickly loot this. Granite Elemental. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I really want to jump down, but I don't know what I'm heading into. This looks so cool, but also so strange. And I think as well, the fact that the granite is already dark just makes it really difficult to see properly. Now, I did notice that there is a water chest, and I would like to get a hold of that. Let me go for him. What is that? Granite Golem. Oh, okay, he's only got 220 health, so it's not as though he's super difficult to kill. What on earth is going on down here? This feels like quite a mob-heavy place. It would be a good place to farm. Saying that, I do need to make sure that I don't die. I figured out that these golem things freeze if they don't want to take damage, so that's noted. How do I get out of here then? Kind of completely went off track now. I suppose I'm going to have to start using my platforms, just like that. Oh, I didn't want to throw them though. You know what? I can do without. I can't even be bothered to collect them. All right, I've returned to the column that I initially was building, or digging, I suppose. Seems as though we're going back into the granite biome anyway, but that's okay. There is so much going on around me. Slowly but surely getting through the granite, and I think we are going to touch down on mud again any second now. Yeah. Is this bat going to die? Yes. Thank you so much. Yes. Finally. And the funny thing is we've managed to make it back down with a full inventory, so I can't even loot everything. Now we can quickly see what's in this chest. Let's loot stack what we can. This pink fairy is trying to show me something and I'm unable to get up to where she wants me to. I don't even have space, so I don't know why I'm trying to mine to it. I am going to now head back home, deposit what I can into the chests. What's this? Gladiator leggings. I didn't realize I even had this. All right, I think that is going to be the end of this video, but before we finish up, let's see what the Dryad is going to sell. Ooh, okay, we've got a lot of stuff in here. Forest pylon, I will be buying another one so we can create a shimmer one. All of these different plant boxes I will probably buy off camera, and I will create a little space for those to start growing the different potion ingredients. Pumpkin seeds, I love pumpkins decoratively anyway, so I will probably buy some of these just for the sake of it. I don't really know what this dirt rod magically moves dirt means. And purification powder, this is the main thing I was looking for. I'm going to buy quite a lot of this and at least try to keep the evil biomes at bay. Really, really glad to have the Dryad in our world now. I wonder if the arms dealer is going to spawn. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. If there is anything you would like to see me do or get up to in this Let's Play, then please do comment down below. I'm making as much of an effort as I can to not fight any bosses until I'm recording, because I do think that's a fairly major event to include in a video. Maybe in the next video we can explore something else. I'm not sure what that would be. I do definitely want to sort out the pylon situation at the shimmer though. And maybe we attempt the queen bee next video. With all of that said, I will see you all in episode 7.